Hello, it is Soul King Paul here. I'm planning on doing weekly chapter reviews, but this week we got the Olympics going on, so no chapter. So I thought it'd be the perfect time to give my thoughts on the whole entirety of the Wano Kuni arc so far, just because, I just started now, thought I'd give my opinions. I'd like to start things off with a bit of a disclaimer. I know that One Piece is a shonen manga meant for young Japanese boys, but here in America, most of the audience, at least from what I've seen on the internet, is adults. So probably be a little bit of adult language, a little bit of jokes that might not be appropriate for children. So if that is a problem for you, thank you for watching, but you might want to move on somewhere else. But if that is not a problem for you, then thank you for sticking around. The other thing is that Wano Kuni is the longest arc so far, and it's not even done, so this might be a long one. It's not going to be super visual, I'm just going to be sitting here ranting, so, this is perfect if you want to just have this in the background, just something to listen to while you're playing a game or doing some work. But with all that being said, let's get right into it. Act 1 of Wano Kuni. I remember that spread, that beautiful picture, the first glimpse we got. Because, just a little bit of context, if you were there, for years and years, the editors, everyone, Oda, building up, Wano's coming, Wano's coming, Wano's coming. And then it finally came, at the end of the reverie, after some of the craziest things we'd ever seen. Wano finally came, that beautiful, beautiful artwork of Mount Fuji, the capital city all around, the cherry blossom tree. It still gets me, even now, just that image in my head thinking back on it. But, off we went, climbed the waterfall, got in, Sunny hit a whirlpool, kind of sank, everyone got split up, it's the tried and true, Luffy gets split off from the rest of the crew, somehow always happens. But, off we went, we met Otama, the native girl that Luffy befriends, as he often does in most of these arcs. He's got a relationship to Ace, so she kind of has a bit of an emotional tie. Occasionally she's just a bit annoying. Has a cool devil fruit power. But, we meet her lion dog pet, and makes friends with Luffy. I remember just that little scuffle in the beginning. Those beast pirates riding their little velociraptor mounts, Luffy punching them out, displaying a little bit of that future sight, some of that hockey that he's been building up. It felt good, man. Well, off we went, started exploring the land of Wano, getting to grips with everything. It was all, pretty kind of standard stuff. The art was just beautiful, though, was the main thing throughout it all. But, finally got Luffy reunited with Zoro, an amazing moment, especially in the anime. Oh, man, it was just so precious seeing the two of them shout each other's name, and then Luffy comes in and clings onto Zoro's face. It was adorable, honestly. What a true bromance. We got an incredible fight, too, here. More so, honestly, in the anime, as it was something that didn't last very long, and at least for me, it felt at the time was kind of a confusing read, but Luffy and Zoro versus Basil Hawkins. Oh, man. Do y'all remember that animation? Toei really stepped it up with Wano, but seeing that giant scarecrow monster with the nails in his fingers, coming with that laugh, swinging his club, and Zoro's parrying it off, that was incredible, man. And Hawkins is flipping his tarot cards, trying to get some good buffs to pursue, and, hurts his own men with his cards sometimes. He's a really strange character. And, we know that his devil fruit is the whole straw devil fruit thing, so, the tarot cards are presumably just magic. Why not? He's a magician after all. It's just don't think about it too much, but truly, it's just it was such a short scuffle. It would have been amazing if it was longer and more fleshed out, but it was good. It was just a good bit of action, just there at the early bits, and I just love it. What can I say? But on and on we went. I hate to talk about it, but it has to be said. I'm coming at this from the perspective of someone who's both watched the anime and read the manga. So thankfully in the manga wasn't that big a deal, but we have to talk about him. The true lurking legend that Toei Animation released on us. Wayne D. Bruce. Batman! The motherfucking Batman came, and Luffy, after fighting Katakuri, the 1.5 billion berry bounty man, throws a punch, and Batman hockeys up his fist, throws him back, and says, "Pathetic!" Truly a legendary meme. Honestly, 10 out of 10. Like, God bless you, Toei. Whew. But, yeah, Batman. Yeah, it's good times around him. But, at the end of the day, it was anime only. It was truly, truly egregious, but it didn't last very long. I had the sumo wrestling tournament. Yeah, I had Hold'em. It was, whatever. Yeah, I mean, all in all, it was nice, but at the time, it's just, through all the expectations that we had built up, we could tell that everything was just still getting set up. And so those early chapters of Wano, that they're not bad, but kind of forgettable, honestly. But on and on we went. Finally the crew, for the most part, got reunited on the mountain. And we learned that time travel's in One Piece. Who knew? Time travel devil fruit. Someone probably has predicted that a million times over, but it actually came true. Not only that, but it turns out that Kinemon, Kanjuro, and Raizo, and Okiku, who we meet, all sent into the future. Out of all the time travel gimmicks that have been used in TV shows and movies, it was done fairly well. Like, a lot of people were kind of concerned, but for the most part, it worked out pretty good, all things considered. Yeah, we get to see Shutenmaru, Ashura Doji, the big boy, comes into town, scuffles a little bit with Jack. Luffy raised some hell. Jack came to investigate, but who followed behind him but Kaido? And oh man, both the anime and the manga, when that reveal hit, Kaido is a dragon. Oh my god. Chills. I still get chills. If you go back, you watch those episodes, you read those chapters, incredible. Beautiful shots of him just snaking his way through the sky, descending down like a god. It was incredible. Oh man. And then we get that fight. That fight where first, of course, Kaido uses his Boro breath, turns a whole entire mountain and the ruins of Oden's castle into a crater. Oh man, what power, what devastation was unleashed upon us all. Luffy, who thought his friends just got turned into dust, got a little crazy. Ran down and picked a fight with the end boss. Really early. We all knew what was going to happen, or at least the end result of it, but watching Luffy actually kind of slap Kaido around, at first I was like, wow, he's actually doing something. But then we realized that Kaido was really, really drunk, and it wasn't so much getting slapped around as just staggering around while flying. Here we're getting to a bit of a difference again with the anime and the manga. The fight, once Kaido stops being a dragon, goes back to his normal form. I do prefer, ultimately, the manga's take on it, because in the manga, it really showed how devastating Kaido is. That Thunder Bagua speed blitz? Whoa, oh my god. Luffy in Gear 4th, with Future Sight, is trying his best to damage this man, and Kaido just hits that Raime Hake and just BAM! Shoots him off into the distance. In the anime, it was a bit more of a struggle. Ultimately, like I said, I prefer the manga, and the manga is often viewed by most everyone as the main canon material. But still, even in the anime, that animation was mwah, French kiss, just incredible. And yeah, the curtains closed. We ended Act 1 and got the first of our post act cutaways to the rest of the world. We saw Honeycomb Island, Blackbeard, Marshall D. Teach with the new bounty, the drip. Do y'all remember that? The anime did that more than justice, bro. He looks swaggy. Oh my god, what a lad. Sitting there with fucking women on both sides of him, like, see, ha ha ha, just living it up. What a legend. And then we saw Gecko Moria, of all people, coming in shouting for, "Where is Absalom? Bring me Absalom." And, we get the reveals of some of Blackbeard's crew. That Katarina Devon has the nine-tailed fox, mythical zone fruit, turns into Absalom, pretends to be him, while Shiryu of the Rain stole his invisibility fruit. Ooh, that hurt a lot of people who thought that Shiryu was given Josu's devil fruit, the whole Zoro's gonna cut diamonds one day. Sorry for all the people who were sporting that theory. To be fair, though, that was kind of totally me, but that's all right. But it was pretty crazy. We don't know what happened to Moria. I'm personally, like me some Brook. I love Thriller Bark. One of my favorite arcs, just personal favorite. I love to see Moria again. I really hope he's not dead. I hope that maybe he strikes some kind of deal with Blackbeard. I really want to see him around. But, given his personality, given that Absalom is presumably dead, I don't know. It's rough. It's rough. We'll see, though. We'll see. But, yeah. That was Act 1. All in all, like I said, bit of a slow start to the long heralded Wano Kuni arc. But it serves its purpose very well, and as we've talked about, had some incredible moments, including Batman. What a legend. So on to Act 2. I don't want to start this by getting too down, but once again, like Batman, needs to be said. Throughout, the majority of this section of the story, it was a little bit of Act 1, a little bit of Act 3, I'm thinking, not 100% sure, but oh, my family, the cover story. Will of P, Pound D Cheeks, the legend. Just like Batman. Somehow not dead. What? Oh, man, it was long. I think I'd have to go and look. Not 100% sure. One of the longest cover stories we've ever gotten. About, Capone after Whole Cake. I like Capone. I really do. His fruit's really cool. Had some great moments in Whole Cake. But Pound? He couldn't have died. You had to let him live. You had to get a little moment, I get it, it's One Piece. Deaths are very infrequent. But Pound? Really? But don't worry about it. Off we go. Get to see a bit of, more of the Red Scabbards. Kawamatsu, Akapapa, in Udon Prison, along with Luffy and, Kid. Gotta see Luffy doing a bit of more physical strength training, as if he needed more physical strength. Sea stone handcuffs, lifting giant blocks of rock, competing a little bit with Kid. I wasn't that, drawn to Kid whenever we first saw him in Sabaody. He was a higher bounty than Luffy at the time. It's pretty crazy. Implied, though, that he got most of that because he's, big into torturing civilians and stuff like that. Real stand-up guy, 10 out of 10. But, yeah, I don't know. Everyone likes Law, of course, but, love me some Apu, like some of the Supernovas a bit more than Kid, but, it kind of seemed to me, at the very least, that Oda was really just trying to, flex him, to make him kind of like that Sasuke, that Vegeta, that kind of, rival to the main character, but it just kind of comes off as too little too late, he's shown as to be able to keep up with Luffy in terms of physical strength with just one arm, which is, be fair, very impressive. But ultimately, like, he just doesn't have the hockey chops like Luffy does. And, I mean, that's something we'll get into more in Act 3, but, you know, Kid is Kid, you know? He's, you know, got the nickname on some circles of Reddit as Useless Captain Mid. I mean, hate to say it, I do like his design, I like his Devil Fruit. Magnetism's a really cool power, but, like, he's just not that guy, you know? It's rough to say, but it has to be said. But enough about Kid. Off we go. Raizo infiltrates the prison, starts looking around for the keys to get Luffy out of there, and Luffy befriends an old man. You know, at first I was like, what the heck is going on? But turns out this old man is important, because he knows Rio Hockey. Oh, isn't that exciting, boys and girls? Rio Hockey. I'm sure that'll be very important and not instantly overshadowed, right? Ahaha, wink. I'm getting a little too harsh on it. It really wasn't that bad. It was very cool at the time, and, you know, spawned a lot of hot takes on the power scaling side of the fandom that we'll get to it later. But yeah, so we see Queen the Plague, and he's the ruler of Udon. I hear he's got a good neck, but you know, comes in, Luffy's been making a little bit of trouble, you know, Raizo gets him the keys, he breaks out, and out comes Queen. Especially in the anime, it was really funny. His little Zuma dance that we will also talk about that later. A lot of things being set up here in Udon. But, you know, Queen, at first I was like, look at this dude. Like, what is up with this guy? He's so weird. Oh, little did I know. But, yeah, I like Queen overall. He's a really good just side antagonist. He's really just all over the place with bombastic. You gotta love Queen, of course. You know, if he was any thinner, everyone would love him. But, yeah. You get the Sumo Inferno tournament, which is basically just a training arc for Luffy. On top of the training he was already doing. A lot of training. You know, maybe it wasn't smart to throw one of your worst enemies into prison just to make him stronger instead of, you know, actually breaking his will. You know, Kaido might want to get on that if you don't lose this arc. Well, yeah. But, you know, put a pin in Udon because I actually do have to talk about something else. Big Mom. A lot of mixed opinions about Big Mom in the community. I personally love her. You know, I might talk about Whole Cake Island at a later date, so I'll save my opinions because this is already getting very long. But Big Mom, you know, following Luffy after the whole debacle at Whole Cake Island. Gets the hilarious moment where King kicks the ship off the waterfall, which led to the not-so-hilarious moment of the Amnesia plotline. I love One Piece, I really do. But you know, part of loving a series so much is being able to talk about its faults. And honestly, Big Mom's Amnesia plotline was probably one of the worst writing decisions we've ever seen in One Piece. And it's really sad to say that, especially in such an amazing arc that it's got this black stain on it of this just questionable decision. Yeah, Big Mom, you know, sinks in the water, gets spat back out on the beach, kind of like Luffy does, and she has no memory. You know, turns into Olin for a little bit, Chopper finds her, Tama finds her, and they all become best friends, and hey, let's go save Luffy! They all show up to the prison. Big Mom knocks the front door down, and Queen is like, oh no! They get in a little bit of a scuffle, because Big Mom loves her some red bean soup, which Tama was really hyping up to her. That's what those villagers gave her to eat. She loves it, but who loves it too but Queen? So then we get a second commander of a Yonko crew versus a Yonko. What a concept, bro. Before Wano, everyone would have been losing their minds over that if it wasn't for that dang Amnesia plotline. Then, you know, we get to see Queen's a Brachiosaurus. Incredible. Everyone on Kaido's crew is a dinosaur if they're an important character, for the most part. I mean, it was crazy. We get to see the Brachio Bomber. This Brachiosaurus leaps into the sky, comes back down, bump, right on Big Mom's head. And thank God the amnesia plotline was just ended just like that. So Big Mom's been knocked on the head, and knocked a little senseless. Queen takes the golden opportunity to capture an enemy Yonko and ships her right off to Onigashima before as he leaves, tells all of his subordinates, "You guys have fun, bye!" While Luffy is left with his sea stone handcuffs off, and, free reign over the prison, pretty much. Predictably, Luffy kind of just slaughters everyone in his way. Of the beast pirates left in Udon, rallies all the prisoners up, even though the Animal Kingdom, or beast pirates, depending on whatever you prefer, they used a plague made by Queen to turn the prisoners infectious and rabid and about to die. But, Chopper was there, along with Olin and Momonosuke and Otama and Kiku. And, he was gonna just fix everything. Chopper's had a lot of medical marvels he's been doing this arc. Good for him. Good for him. But, yeah. Udon suddenly got turned into a bastion of the, pirate, samurai, ninja, mink alliance. But, once again, I'll put a pin in Udon. Because things are happening outside of the prison. We have the introduction of Komurasaki, most beautiful Oiran in the Shogun's court, and she's off because Shogun's having a feast. We get to see a little bit of crew interactions here and there. We get to see the epic meme faces of Robin. Robin's face especially was amazing. I had that as my phone background for months. It was incredible. We also get to see Frankie and Usopp as they all realize that Luffy's here and he fought Kaido and got his ass whooped. But, Sanji meets up with them, and, they're just chilling around watching this procession go on. And, we follow Komurasaki into her little event because Robin and Nami are doing a little bit of infiltration. So is Brook, my man, dressing up as a ghost with panties on his head, just like he'd want. We get to see Orochi. We saw a little bit of him earlier, but, being a true gentleman, true lad, living it up as the Shogun. We're also introduced to another young child, Otoko, whose name in Japanese means boy, even though she's a girl. Haha, it's funny. But, she starts laughing because Orochi's scared of a prophecy that says the 9 scabbards are gonna come get some vengeance for the evil doings that he has committed. And he very much believes it. Why does he believe it so strongly? We'll get to that. But, he wants Otoko killed, and Komurasaki smacks him and says, "If you're gonna hurt that child, you're gonna have to go through me." And, Kyoshiro hops up and kills her? Very strange. This guy Kyoshiro seems like a crazy man. But while all this is happening, of course, Robin and Nami are sneaking around trying to get some details on poneglyphs and other things to screw over the beast pirates. We get to see a little bit of a scuffle with the Oniwa Bonshu, the ninjas of Orochi. It was extended heavily in the anime, which I thought was hilarious, but Brook uses his, spiritual projection to chase around some of the ninjas and spooking them. Oh my god, I love Brook. What a lad. But, Komurasaki is dead, and we later see her running off towards Zoro, who earlier wandered off before anything plot relevant happened, because that's what he's best at. Zoro. Yeah, Zoro's on a bridge. Guy's trying to steal his sword, and then all of a sudden, Komurasaki's running up to him, screaming for help, because Kamazo, a guy who is totally not killer, is chasing her down with scythes and is trying to kill her. Basically just starts fighting a pseudo 2v1. That fight against him and Killer. Oh man, in the manga, great. And the anime, oh my god, bro, the lens flares, the crazy animation for his attacks, bro. And then he just kind of lays Killer out and gets stabbed in the back by the guy on the bridge at the same time. It was it was incredible. But he does get Shusui stolen. That's pretty rough. Meanwhile, back at the Flower Capital, we get another incredible fight. This time, Sanji. He's apparently been encroaching on the turf of the Kyoshiro family. He sends some goons to either make him pay his dues or get the hell out of town. And Sanji says, I pick third option. I shove my foot up your ass. And that gets one of the Toby Ropo called down on him. Page 1, who is a Spinosaurus, my favorite dinosaur. Oh, I love Page 1. That fight against Page 1, incredible again. Like, that's just the thing with Wano, and I'm gonna say it again and again, but these fights have been amazing. Truly spectacles worthy of One Piece. Oh my god, especially the raid suit. Putting on that raid suit, stealth black, we get to see him testing out his new suit and just whooping down on Page 1. What a fight. Ultimately, Page 1 kind of walked away from it. You know, he got beat, but he didn't really take any serious injuries that put him out of commission for any serious length of time. But all in all, Sanji really just kind of took chunks out of him without, much in term of retaliation. It was a really good showing by him, that's for sure. Amidst everything that's been going on, we do learn that there must be a traitor in our midst, because things keep getting linked to Orochi. They learn that the port that they will attempt to do the raid on has been learned about by Orochi, and that Orochi, is sending his men to hunt down anyone with the crescent moon tattoo on their ankle. I haven't really touched on him at all, but there is a character called Yasue, a former daimyo of Wano, a man who laughs a whole lot. He was running around with Zoro before Zoro went to the bridge. And, he gets killed. Turns out he's Otoko's father. And through his death, his crucifixion, and his execution, he tells a lie to divert Orochi's attention, or, well, at least he thinks he is, away from the raid, to try and save everything. I mean, Yasue is dead. It's a One Piece death, something that very rarely happens, and I was even complaining about Pound not being dead earlier. It is difficult, though, because Yasue's death, it wasn't super impactful in the manga. The anime kind of had fleshed him out more, and fleshed out Otoko's reaction more, and it hit a little harder in the anime, but even still, I don't know what could have been done except maybe devoting more time to Yasue, maybe introducing him a little earlier or something, but I don't know. Overall, I don't really have too much to say about it other than it just kind of happened and wasn't too impactful, wasn't terrible, it was just kind of there. Kinemon has dialed up on the snails, the whole squad. The plan is set. The raid will begin at the night of the Fire Festival. Ships are being built by Frankie and Company. Half of the minks are here on the island with the prisoners from Udon. They have forces numbering in the thousands. Everything seems set. There's one more thing to talk about. Enma. Zoro gets Enma, one of Oden's 2 swords. A blade that seems to suck the hockey out of you to make big attacks. And in the matter of days, Zoro seems to have maybe not mastered, but at least gotten a grip on how to use it. While Luffy spends the last days before the raid training with Ryo Haki, with the old man Hyogoro. All in all, that's about where Act 2 ends. There is one more thing, though. The closing act scene. bit of the aftermath of the reverie. The Shichibukai, the 7 warlords of the sea, have been disbanded by the government. They are now pirates without the protection of the world government. Because apparently, Vegapunk's SSG is strong enough to replace them. It's a big claim. Big claim to say that you got something that is strong enough to replace Mihawk. And not just Mihawk, but Buggy D. Clown. Oh man, you think you can replace Buggy? That's some big talk, Vegapunk. I'm excited to see what the SSG really is. But, yeah. We see the Marines are mobilizing. Questions thrown around of, hey guys, you want to go stop what's happening in Wano? Pfft, nah, we got bigger things to worry about, like this problem we just caused. Yeah, we see Kobe is on a ship going off to fight an Amazon Lily. Oh man. Talking about anime episodes, for a while, I thought that the episode that this got revealed in might be one of the best because of the incredible animation that we saw. Crocodiles, that one really just struck out to me. The sabbles in his hand just spinning around. But, yeah. The warlords are now being targeted. We saw that scene with Mihawk on his island, sipping his wine, and then there are the floodlights in the background, the sirens, and the Marines are asking for his surrender. Like, that's gonna happen. Oh, those poor, poor dead men. I did see that King Cobra might probably maybe kind of sort of is dead? Yeah, we'll see. I'm assuming he is, but, you know, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, that's Act 2. Compared to Act 1, like I said, the pacing is definitely picked up. We traded anime-only egregious moment of Batman for anime and manga egregious moment of the Amnesia plotline. But, like I said, you know, it didn't last for too long. It didn't... Overall, it didn't change anything super crazy. It was just in my humble opinion, a bad call. But that's alright, because One Piece is still amazing, even with the Amnesia plotline. I feel it can be overlooked. I feel like it doesn't detract my enjoyment of the story. But it's just something that I gotta talk about. Yeah, overall, Act 2, very solid. Nothing quite as crazy, though, as Kaido is a dragon and Kaido versus Luffy, but we do get the epic Zoro versus Killer and Sanji versus Page 1. We get the meme faces. We get some training. We get Enma. A lot of good things happening. A lot of good things. But yeah, that's Act 2. So, we are at Act 3, where we are currently at in the story. This act is already kind of the length of some, or quite a few arcs, and it's still ongoing. We start off, though, with the rather shocking, to me at least at the time, scene of the scabbards all gathered together at the port that they thought they were supposed to be meeting everyone at. And all the ships are wrecked, it's storming, and no one is there. And Kinemon is weeping. And from there, we go into perhaps maybe the best flashback we've ever seen. The Kozuki Oden flashback. Or, you know, to steal from a much better YouTuber, the Chad Den flashback. Oh man, this guy had a harem when he was a child. He was beating people up as a kid. He was unstoppable. And, you know, I'm not going to go too deep into the early parts of his life. We just see what an absolute legend he is. But what I really want to focus on is when he meets Whitebeard. The clash with Whitebeard was truly incredible. Odin went from, you know, just a dead guy that we had heard about to suddenly he was breaking into people's, like, top characters of all time in terms of strength lists. It was wild. But not only that, he joins Whitebeard's crew, sails around for a time, meets Hiyori, the time-traveling lady, and, has some kids on the boat. From there, Whitebeard and Roger meet. Not only do they meet, but they clash! That clash? We had seen a sky splitting before, but that was insane! We had never seen anything like that. I didn't even think that we'd get to see Roger fight anyone at all. Oh my god. I get chills thinking about it now. It was incredible. Truly, truly incredible. And from there, Odin joins Roger's crew, gets to sail the seas with him, and goes to Raftel, or, as we learn, even though Stampede spoiled it, it's actually called Laugh-Tale. Because when Roger got there, when he saw what was left by, presumably, I think it might be confirmed, I have to go check, Joy Boy. And all he could do was laugh. Actual hints about what the One Piece is? Oh man. What a flashback. We get such incredible clashes, such incredible backstory for Goldie, Roger, and Whitebeard, and some One Piece hints. It's going to be a hard flashback for anything to contend with. It really is. But it's not done yet. Because after finding Laugh-Tale, the Roger Pirates disband, and Odin goes back home, where he finds that things are not as he left them. Apparently, his father got sick and died, though, no body. It's kind of hard to tell. There's some theories about Tengu Yama, who I kind of skipped over, is actually Odin's dad, but, another time. But yeah. Orochi, this kid who he used to give money to because he felt sorry for him, is now the Shogun of Wano. And apparently he was supposed to hold the seat until Odin returned, but rather than do that, he kind of hates Odin because, he's trying to usurp the throne that Orochi, rightfully stole. So, Odin, understandably pissed, grabs up his two swords. He left his Akazaya samurai behind and went off to go confront Orochi. He does so, but unfortunately for everyone, Orochi is protected by the former user of the barrier fruit, which landed in Bartolomeo's hands. That's questionable. Hope we get that explained at some point. But anyways, he is unable to kill Orochi. And then Kaido comes. And there is a secret deal struck between the three of them, that if Odin dances naked in the streets, every time he does so, lives will be saved. So Odin, being the unmitigated Chad he is, seeing that he cannot kill Orochi, his hated enemy, and that there are lives on the line, decides that he will do as he has been asked. And he dances naked for years and years, all while Wano is turned into a desolate hellhole. And when his allotted time is up, he has danced his predetermined number of days, Odin goes back to demand that the throne is returned to him. But, you can't trust a snake. Orochi and Kaido laugh in his face, and so he gathers up his Akazaya samurai now and goes to fight. What can I say other than it was just a truly incredible fight? We get to see how Kaido got that big X scar on his chest because Chaden delivered it to him. And once again, Odin's fatal flaw is that he's just too damn good. When he gets faked out by the old lady who has the clone fruit before Bon Clay got it, again, kind of weird how these fruits keep getting out of Wano, but don't think about it too hard. Turns into Momonosuke and fakes out Odin, and Odin gets taken down. From there we go into the Hour of Legend, where Odin stands in boiling oil for an hour, all for the sake of saving his men. And then delivers that iconic line, Odin wouldn't be Odin if it wasn't boiled. he saves his Akazaya's samurai's lives at the cost of his own, and dies like a true Chad. And then from there, we see the last little bits. We see Hiyori's prophecy about, you are the shadows unto the dawn, blah, blah, blah. And we see the time travel. We don't see Hiyori die. We see her get shot by an arrow. So, might have sent herself into the future at the last second. We don't know. Might be dead. We might see. Wano's not dead yet. But, flashback's over. Back to the beach. Turns out that, Kinemon is, let's just call him very lucky. Because he thought he sent everyone to the port that he was standing at. And he told the other Akazaya samurai that he was sending them there. But everyone else understood it as he was sending them elsewhere. Which, again, very lucky, because as it turns out, Kanjuro is a traitor! There was a lot of speculation going on, like there always is in stories whenever we hear that someone's a traitor, but we don't know who. People threw out Kanjuro, but people were also kind of throwing out everyone, so it was really just kind of the Wild West in terms of theories until we actually saw who done it. But especially because the episode just came out very recently in the anime. Oh, Kanjuro. What a monster. That smile of just like, I tricked you all. Oh, wow. What a legend. He's been feeding secrets to Orochi this entire time. Caused Zou to be destroyed. Almost. And has basically been responsible for every tragedy that's befallen the Kozuki line in the Akazaya Samurai from the word go. What a devious, devious monster. He takes Momonosuke and flees off to Onigashima. Meanwhile, all the forces assembled, the thousands of samurai, all come in their ships with Monkey D. Luffy and the Thousand Sunny at the helm, along with the Polar Tang and Law and his crew. And, I don't remember the name of the boat, but, Eustace Kid and his whole crew. We get to see them all flexing. And then, I can see his poster back there behind me. Jinbei Oyabun shows up. Former Warlord of the Sea, first Son of the Sea Knight Jinbei shows up, declares his allegiance to Straw Hat Luffy, much to the shock of Law and Kid. A truly amazing moment, especially well done in the anime. And while we're at this point, at the time of filming this, Night 82 is still fairly recent. And while it may be upset in the future, as of the time of recording this, episode 982 is without a doubt, in my humble opinion, the best episode of the anime we have ever gotten. Animation, incredible. Fight scenes, incredible. The music video with Queen, incredible. The Tobiropo, incredible. Oh man, the raid is beginning. I'm getting chills just talking about it. We see the Tobiropo. Oh my god, these 6 badasses of the Animal Kingdom pirates who are just below the 3 calamities. Oh man, we've already seen page 1, already saw him get knocked around a bit. We also see his sister, Ulti, who's a Pachycephalosaurus, another cool dinosaur that I know because I'm a Jurassic Park fan. Oh man, who's who? Oh, Sasaki, Black Maria! Oh, big sexy tall woman. You know it. And, X-Drake. All the lads are there. See them brought before Kaido. And, as it turns out, Kaido is a kid. Yamato. Yamato's in a weird spot right now. And the fan base is kind of all over the place with her. The general consensus with Yamato is that Yamato is number 1 in the pickings for please join the Straw Hats, please, 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 please. I personally am in the camp of let Yamato join the Straw Hats, but also let Carrot. Por qué no las dos? Why not both? But we're not talking about Carrot. We're talking about Yamato. So, Yamato is, or was, born female. However, referred to as Kaido's son. And Yamato calls himself a he, calling himself Odin. I just each time as that situation changes, I will be referring to Yamato as a he. Yeah, Yamato has a son. Kaido has a son. Getting everything mixed up in my head now. But, yeah. Kaido offers the Tobiropo the chance to fight one of the calamities if they can bring Yamato back before him because the Fire Festival is about to start, and of course, Kaido's son must be in attendance. While this is happening, the raid is starting. It's time for a horseshoe maneuver. Just go around both sides of the Skull Dome while Luffy and Kid and, all the other meatheads go running straight down the middle. Oh, man. Ever since, it honestly feels like it hasn't been that long, even though it's been weeks and months, and might honestly have even been a year since the raid started. But, I don't know, these chapters have just been coming out with crazy action after crazy action. We get to see a Pooh, one of my favorite supernovas outside of course, the two Straw Hats and Law. I love a Pooh. Check your owl! Oh man, we stan a Pooh here. We love our musical characters in One Piece. What can I say? We get to see a bit of Queen, get to see some King, get to see a little bit of Jack. But yeah, I mean the raid's just been kind of crazy. Considering that it's still going on, it's kind of hard to talk about. I mean, there have been so many incredible moments, and this video is already getting incredibly long. So, I'm just gonna kind of, I guess, highlight some of the most important bits. Major one I want to talk about is Chapter 1000 and the Advent of Roof Piece. Oh man, 2 Yonkos versus 5 Supernovas. What can I say that hasn't already been said? We get to see some of the craziest in terms of like just raw power, anything that we've seen that's outside of a flashback. Because, of course, I already talked about the Odin flashback, but actual like modern times, like happening right now, crazy power. And we really do see how Luffy is standing above the rest of his contemporaries in terms of power. He is just that damn good. He is built different. But yeah, we get to see some nice teamwork between the Supernovas. We get to see Luffy trash-talking the Yonko. He is a man who doesn't afraid of anything. Hybrid Kaido. Not exactly what myself and many people in the community were expecting, but I've really grown to love Hybrid Kaido. I think it looks badass. What else? Just so many things. The ocean sovereignty, Zoro, at least for a moment, stalling it, deflecting it. It's really contentious about what he did. For sure, though, he didn't tank it, and if Law hadn't shambles him away, probably would have died. That's a bit of a hot take, but it calls him as I sees him. We finally get to see Zoro use Ashura again. Oh my god, it's been since, like, the first time we got to Sabaody since we've seen that. Incredible. I mentioned the meme faces earlier. I had the color panel of him using Asura as my phone home screen for a long time. Oh man. Roof Piece, man. And it's not even done. Like, I mean, we've got Yamato in Roof Piece right now in the most recent chapter. But yeah, other than that, there's been quite a bit of setup so far. In the more recent chapters, though, we're finally getting to see a resolution to a couple events. We've seen the Scabbards. I did kind of completely neglect their fight with Kaido in the first place. But ultimately, I really feel like Roof Piece completely overshadowed that conflict, though it was still good. But they're squaring off against numerous opponents. Totally forgot to mention him too, but Marco is fighting King currently. Sanji is fighting Queen. In the most recent chapters, we saw Jinbei in his first official fight as a true member of the Straw Hats against Who's Who. Got some potentially world-shaking, plot development in terms of Nika the Sun God, which may or may not be incredibly relevant to the ultimate finale of this story. And then in the most recent chapter, is the time of filming this, 1019, we got to see my boy Frankie versus Sasaki, the little Triceratops who could fly. Um, and yeah, with that, I've kind of sped through the last little bit of the raid, but like I said, it's just good chunks of setup, lots of action, lots of craziness is happening. But overall, it's pretty amazing. Well, I mean, I don't know how else to phrase it. It's truly incredible, truly, truly, truly mind-shatteringly amazing. But yeah, that is us caught up. Um, Overall, uh, we were promised that Wano Kuni was going to make Marineford look small. And to be fair, this arc, in a lot of ways, kind of almost completely overshadows the Summit War saga as a whole. I know that's kind of a hot take, but I mean, it's kind of true. And the other thing is that Wano's not done. I'm gonna be honest. If I had half as many chapters of Roof Piece as I did Marineford would look absolutely tiny in comparison. But we have other crazy things going along with Roof Piece, and Roof Piece still isn't done. I think Wano will continue to deliver, especially now as we seem to be approaching, at the very least, the climax as fights are getting resolved now in quick succession. And, yeah. It's hard to rank Wano, assigning it a number, because it's not done. But overall, Wano's had its hiccups. Had a few moments where it stumbled, but overall, it truly shines through. And might by the time it's done, be one of the best, if not the best, standalone arcs in all of One Piece. I mean, it's got some pretty stiff competition, but overall, it is the gift that keeps on giving. If you've made it to this point, you have sat through so much time of listening to me talk, and I'm just a brand new channel. So if you are here listening to these words, thank you so, so much. And I've always kind of laughed at the spiels that YouTubers give, but I feel compelled to say it now, as it's almost like a time-honored tradition. You can hit that like button, because if you've made it this far, you must have liked at least something. All it takes is one click from you, and all it gives me is unending amounts of validation. And if you want to see more like this, hit that subscribe button, and, hit the bell if you like notifications, I guess. But, thank you so much. Y'all, take it easy.